Welcome back to AM Northwest. You know, most women are prepared for puberty and pregnancy, but lack essential information about the life-changing period that comes later. Here for Perimenopause Awareness Month, I can't say it, perimenopause, we welcome the author of the Menopause Myth, OBGYN Arianna Sholes-Douglas. Good morning, doctor. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Good morning, Helen. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Let's talk about, first of all, what exactly is menopause, and because a lot of us use it incorrectly.
Correct. So I think really the better way to talk about this is perimenopause, because that's when women are going to start to have the symptoms. They think about menopause as this kind of moment in time, but at the end of the day, menopause is by definition the cessation of the natural biologic process with the cessation of your menstrual cycle. And that typically is going to be that cessation of menstrual cycle, at least for 12 months. So that's how we define it. But practically, it can be a period. It is the period that kind of heralds the end of your reproductive years and is the beginning of the rest of your life. And that period that kind of, as you go through that transition, can be, you know, a few days, months for some people, and 8 to 10 years for others. So it's a thing.
Okay, let's talk about perimenopause and how so many times I understand it's misdiagnosed.
Right. So the thing about it is that first and foremost, you need to know that a lot of doctors have not been trained in this area. So even myself as a gynecologist, and as the curriculums go now, there's hardly any specific curriculum that's devoted to menopausal women and that whole process. Just like we go through puberty, this is just like, I call perimenopause the reverse puberty, right? Our hormones are fluctuating the same kind of way, except this time we can't stay at home and be irritable and just deal with life. Like, we're older, we have to do all the things that come along with that. But it's misdiagnosed because it may start as just some insomnia or irritability, brain fog. And so people identify menopause only with night sweats or hot flashes, but it's a constellation of so many more possible symptoms now. Joint pain, frozen shoulder, you know, itchiness, all the things, urinary incontinence, decreased libido. And so if you're not trained as a medical professional to really identify this, you're not aware that this is a period that can really start as early as 35 years old for
Really?
1,000%. So that's why I actually ended up writing the book, is because I started having symptoms at 37. I didn't realize I was perimenopausal until I was about 42. And when I finally realized what was happening, I was like, okay, I'm a gynecologist. I have no idea that this is happening. Why all this is happening. Nobody even told me about any of these symptoms. So how, if I'm a gynecologist and I've, you know, ostensibly had training, how is it that the average lay woman is going to even be able to manage this? So this is why I was like, this is a myth. This is not what they taught me in school.
Yeah, let's talk about some common myths about menopause.
So I think the biggest myth is just what you were like, 35. So yeah, menopause is just by definition the cessation of your menstrual cycle, but really it's a process. It's a journey. Perimenopause, it's a journey. And again, it's going to go easily for some people. We know for African-American women, they're going to have more severe symptoms. Their hot flashes can last longer. Their perimenopause tends to be on average at least 2 years longer. So again, it can be this entire spectrum of symptoms, and you really need to be aware as you're going through it and be educated, because it's very possible. Myth number 2 is that your gynecologist actually can help you with this process. So I'm not saying that no gynecologist can help you, but I get patients every day that have literally gone to their gynecologist and have been dismissed and told that, oh, you can't be going through menopause, you're too young, or they don't understand it. And so this myth that women feel gaslit when they leave the doctor, because they're like, wait a minute, I know I can't think straight. I know I can't do all the things. Something is going on with me. And it's like, no, we checked your hormones, everything's fine. Well, you're not going to see that in a simple lab test. That's myth number 3, that your labs are going to tell you exactly, you know, what's going on. And it doesn't work that way, because your labs are literally fluctuating. Your hormones are fluctuating like a teenager. And so one day they're going to look one way, the next day they're going to look like something else. So we can't use labs as the end all, beat all to it. So those are the top 3 myths, I would
What
say.
are some tips that you could give women who are experiencing menopause? What should they be doing?
First and foremost, educate yourself. Do your reading.
Yeah.
Menopause.org is an excellent site to also find providers that are specifically trained. So you don't have to go through, provider after provider. You can know very clearly that you're going to find a match with a provider that at least has some knowledge about this. They've been certified in this training. So knowledge, and really just finding a good partner, advocate, someone that can work with you, because it's not an easy process to go through if you're struggling and don't have that support.
Absolutely. We want to tell everyone the book again is titled The Menopause Myth. Dr. Arianna Sholes-Douglas, thank you so much. Great talking with you. We have so much more to talk about, so we have to have you back.
I would love to. All right.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away. Yep, see you next time.